I wanted to share a little bit more about what this recovery process has been like. I just had major surgery a couple of weeks ago, and it was such a foundational shift. And then there's a lot of recovery, there's a lot of integration. And I've moved through a lot of like ups and downs, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I'm really grateful that I found ways to move through things with more resilience. And so, like, a lot of the ways I usually do things, I'm usually at a pretty high vibe, a lot of energy, have had to change. The way I do my meditation has had to change. The way I do my creative practice has had to change. The way I move through energy has had to change because I'm in a lower vibe. I don't have access to doing it the same way. And so I've had to have a lot of grace with myself, and I've really found that going to gratitude is a really powerful practice because you can access gratitude from wherever you are. Even if it's just, I'm grateful that I'm seeing the immensity of grief that's really here. I'm grateful that I'm willing to breathe even 2% through depths of despair that part of me just wants to resist and like, oh, how do I get out of this? I'm grateful that I can be a presence of love for myself. Again, even just 2%, when part of me just wants to get this over with and feel better. And so it's a really great practice to remember that you always can access. Gratitude is a very, very high vibe. It will allow you to have grace through anything that arises. It's universally accessible no matter what vibrational frequency you're in. In the Be Your Own Healer book, which is coming out soon, it talks a lot about the scale of consciousness and how we can be in, a really heightened state, and we can be, sorry about the noise there, it's motorcycle weekend. We can be in these lower states. And what's it like to be in the lower states? Because it's resistance to those lower states that is so toxic. It's not shame and fear and anger that is toxic. It's resisting shame, anger, fear. We've unconsciously or consciously tucked it away. Like in the Inside Out movie, they're like, we're gonna throw this out to the back of the mind. Yay, now we're all clear. We're not gonna worry about this. Well, where do you think it goes? It's still in your system. It's taking up residence in your system. It's active in your vibrational frequency. So don't you want those things to come back to the front of the mind so that you can resolve them instead of suppress them? And so sometimes when you're down, you're in a lower vibe, you have no energy, you can't access a higher state or the tools that usually get you there. That's the greatest opportunity for grace, for growth, for deepening. So I have definitely found that in these last few weeks. It's definitely taken like all the courage I have to be willing to surrender and let go, which this is what it's all about. Like, I had pelvic surgery. That's to shift my foundation physically. What's the point of shifting your foundation physically if you're not shifting it mentally, emotionally, to really be supported in a new way? So surrender. And it takes courage to surrender. So as soon as you commit to that higher expression, higher vibe, higher experience. For me, it's a higher foundation, and physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, that whole different foundation of where I sit, first chakra, second chakra, and then having had pelvic surgery. That was a major choice, and you take action. Action is a commitment. It's really great to say, I choose to love myself fully, or I choose to live in abundance, but it's when you take action that you put your money where your mouth is. It's when you take action that there's an actual commitment, and commitment necessitates courage. And it's courage that has you then instill a new capacity. You don't get the new capacity until you make the choice and the commitment, and then find the courage to see it through. So that's really, I guess, what I've been doing these last few weeks through these ups and downs and upheavals of everything that was the old foundation, to let it dissolve, to double down on my commitment for where I am going, to be seated in a foundation of serenity, security, true security, well-being, surrender, trust, abundance. I am sourced infinitely and unconditionally. And so what's one commitment you can make right now in that direction, because it's the commitment that then creates the courage, that then creates the capacity. So let me know how that lands for you and where you see that active in your life. And I'd love to hear from you on this. I will include the link here for the Be Your Own Healer book. And I'm so excited to have this book come out into the world. I'll include the page here, so more on that, and I'll include the link here so you can make sure to register for that. And I'll see you soon.